Hello, viewers. Welcome once again to Open Heavens Reflections, which is based on the Open Heavens Devotional written by Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. My name is Biodun Obisesan. I pastor the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Still Waters in Colchester. Our topic for today is living above the flesh. Our Bible passage is taken from the book of Romans, chapter 6, verses 12 to 18. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in its lust thereof. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. But God be thanked that you were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered to you. Being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness. Our memory verse is taken from the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in its lust thereof. Our reflection. The Bible is very clear that a Christian cannot continue to live in sin, and a Bible passage today is just one of the many that emphasizes this. I believe that God will not ask or expect us to do something that is not possible. Why do we find it so difficult then as human beings to walk without sin? Romans chapter 7 verses 14 to 25 gives us an answer. So the trouble is not with the law, for it is spiritual and good. The trouble is with me, for I'm all too human, a slave to sin. I don't really understand myself, for I want to do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. But if I know that what I'm doing is wrong, this shows that I agree that the law is good. So I'm not the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. And I know that nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature. I want to do what is right, but I can't. I want to do what is good, but I don't. I don't want to do what is wrong, but I do it anyway. But if I do what I don't want to do, I'm not really the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. I've discovered this in principle of life, that when I want to do what is right, I inevitably do what is wrong. I love God's law with all my heart, but there is another power within me that is at war with my mind. This power makes me a slave to the sin that is still within me. Oh, what a miserable person I am. Who will free me from this life that is dominated by sin and death? Thank God. The answer is in Jesus Christ our Lord. So you see how it is. In my mind, I really want to obey God's law, but because of my sinful nature, I'm a slave to sin. This passage outlines the struggle every believer faces when taking a stand against sin. And that is that it's an inner battle. Apostle Paul tells us that the answer is in Jesus Christ. Don't see the grace described in our Bible passage as an excuse to sin, because forgiveness can be obtained, but rather see grace as an empowerment not to sin. Our prayer point. Ask God for grace to live above the flesh daily. Thank you for listening. May the Lord bless you. And may the Lord give you grace to live above sin. Have a good day.